everyone, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where last time we were celebrated for our efforts in protecting Lominsan and the surrounding Lenosian region. We had a banquet for us to celebrate our efforts, but we collapsed right in the middle of it with a vision of the Battle of Cartano, after learning we were chosen by the Mother Crystal of the planet. There are big things in store for us, and that terrifies me, but we will get through it. Today, Merlvib has a job for us, and us alone. It must be important, so let's get to it. The duty I have in mind for you requires some explanation. I do hope you have not made other plans. To business, then. Merlvib wishes to entrust you with an important task. I have penned a letter to each of my counterparts in the Eorzean Alliance. The Battle of Cartano and the calamity that followed claimed countless lives. It has been 5 years since those of us who were spared dragged ourselves from the ashes to look upon an Eorzea we scarcely knew. 5 years, and yet the people still suffer. Their lives are fraught with worry and hardship, and the warriors of light who might once have given them hope are gone. Yet we must press on regardless. We will never truly do so, however, till we have faced our past. To that end, I am proposing that a memorial service be held in each of the city-states on the 5th anniversary of the Battle of Cartano. These letters contain the details of said proposal. And I would have you deliver them to our allies as my personal envoy. You have proven yourself a staunch and able ally to Limsa, but that is not my only reason for choosing you. No, I choose you because you possess a quality which puts me in mind of history's champions, a quality I feared lost. Say that you will perform this duty. Of course! I knew you would not disappoint me. This task shall take you far from the borders of our nation to the city-states of Gridania and Ul'dah. A grueling journey to be sure, were you to travel by sea and land, but I mean to have you take to the skies. An airship pass to be used at your discretion. Airships bound for the nations of our allies leave from the landing connected to the bridge. But before you depart, I suggest you trouble Baderon for a few pearls of wisdom regarding each of your destinations. The old bastard is nothing if not well traveled. 'Tis a pity I cannot issue such passes with a freer hand as I did in more peaceful times, when berths were not so limited. But in these times of war, every craft we commit to the clouds risks drawing the eyes of the Empire, and every voyage must needs be born of necessity. Lest you doubt, I consider your place well deserved. Nor am I alone in that opinion. There were other parties who would see you granted the privilege of air travel. Aye, Satora, your deeds do not go unnoticed. Full many see great promise in you, but I have flattered you enough. On behalf of Lominsa and her people, I bid you go forth, adventurer. Discover the realm for which so many have fought and died. Wonder and danger await you in equal measure, but turn not from either. Only by braving the unknown will you achieve the greatness of which you are surely capable. The light of the crystal guides you, and I wager that your destiny will be no small thing. Alright then, we are sent off with the ability to travel through the skies. Our reputation is becoming very popular already, which is quite amazing. But we have done quite a bit to help out around Limsa, so I guess it makes sense. But today that means we are finally traveling to the other city-states of Eorzea. Wait, we need to speak to Baderon first. Oh god. But we will be traveling to the other city-states, meaning we get to finally see the rest of the world. No longer are we confined to this very pretty, but still limiting Isle of Vilbrand. Baderon, I am heading out. Back from your meeting with the Admiral, are ya? Personal bleeding envoy? So you'll be carrying the word of the Admiral herself to the leaders of the Alliance? Bugger me, I knew you was going up in the world, but I didn't realize you'd got that bloody eye. I'm proud of you, lass. Thinking of how far you've come, why, 'tis enough to bring a tear to me eye. And that ain't the ale talking neither. Well, not just the ale, at any rate. Bless the navigator for steering you my way. Of course, this is only the start. Now you've got your hands on an airship pass, the old of Eorzea's laid out before you, like a fair maid on a feather bed. And she's a big girl too, with plenty of enticing nooks and crannies. Please stop sexually harassing the entire country. Like, literally the ground itself? If you think us Lominsans are characters, just wait till you cross paths with the grim forest dwellers of Gridania, or trade coins with the crafty merchants of Ul'dah. And then there's the wild places where the beasties rule, and no bugger with an On's sense sets foot. But you're a adventurer, so I wouldn't let a little thing like that hold you back. Of course, it ain't all exploring and excitement. There's a heap of troubles what plagues every nation, see? Tain't just ours. I'm talking intrigue and infighting, beastmen and their goddamn primals. Aye, there's an ugly side to life, and sooner or later you're bound to walk into it. But I'll wager there's bugger all out there as you can't handle. Something tells me you're gonna be just fine. The realm's had it rough, 'tis true, but folk are beginning to recover from the beat and the calamity dealt 'em. Call me an hopeless optimist, but it wouldn't take much to turn things around. 'Tis a perfect time for a adventurer like yourself to get out there and make a difference. Well, what are you waiting for? Thank you for the encouragement, Baderon. I appreciate it, truly. Alright then, now we can head up to the airship and make our way out to see the rest of the world. Alright, hello, Lenoflo. Lenoflo? Greetings, madam. This is the counter for passengers traveling to Gridania. Wait, aren't you that famous adventurer? It's Satora Lanti, isn't it? I thought I recognized you. You're an inspiration to us all, madam. Highwind Skyways is at your disposal. Will you be traveling with us today? Indeed, I am heading off. Looks like Gridania is gonna be our first stop. Now, I have mentioned in the past that I do have a bit of backstory and information on Satora here. She's actually from the Gridania region, not from the city-state itself, but from the 12's wood it lies in. And she is a Keeper of the Moon Mikote. Keeper of the Moon don't exactly have the best relationship with Gridania, but we're going as the personal envoy of Admiral Blufiswin. I think we're going to have at least that to protect us, and that'll probably be enough, I hope. Alright, let's board the airship and set sail. Attention all passengers, the airship bound for Gridania is about to depart. Please make your way to the boarding gate. Good fortune to you, Satora. The day'll come when your name means the same as zero to the folk of this realm. May you walk in the light of the crystal.
bitter taste of defeat lingers still. 15 years since the Imperial fleet set course for Mordona, led by the Egrios, mightiest of all vessels. Silver Till Lake lay ripe for the taking, and all of Eorzea would soon be ours. Or so we believed. But an innumerable host of dragons met us that day, at the heart of which flew the great Midgard Zormer. Though we succeeded in slaying that lord among worms, the dread serpent's defeat was bought at too high a price. Our invincible flagship was lost, and all hope of victory with her. So ended our glorious conquest. Eorzea, a blighted realm, riddled with false gods. Twice now it has eluded the Empire's grasp. For all the destruction it wrought, even Meteor, the great sin, failed to yield us control over it. And for this failure, the realm has sunk deeper into depravity. It is twisted beyond all reckoning, rotten nigh to the core. Yet, it must be saved. Only Garlean rule can bring order to Eorzea. It falls to us to deliver the misguided masses from their ignorance.
We are of one mind, Lord Van Balthar.
Senior engineers, please report to Magitech research following scheduled inspection.
Hey, is the Legatus really planning to take another tilt at Eorzea?
Hey? What hole have you been hiding in? We're in the midst of preparing for a new campaign, and a huge one at that.
But I thought the Emperor had given up the Western lands for lost after Cartano. What could the Legatus possibly hope to gain by acting alone?
I sense you harbor certain doubts over the wisdom of the Legatus's plan.
My lord!
Please, call me Nero. Tell me, where were you born?
Othard, my lord.
Alamigo, my lord.
Ah, codename Hummingway, I presume.
I don't know what you...
Silence. Your denials will not change your fate. I assure you, Frumentarium sees all. Clean up this mess, and do not miss any, or I shall be most displeased.
At once, my lord.
Garland, soon you will be made to know the true power of Magitech.
Ah, lovely. Garlemald is making their own moves. Just what we needed. They landed at Castrum Oxidens? I want to check something. Oxidens, I believe... No, okay, it's not over there. Where's Castrum Oxidens? Oh, you know what? I think that's actually in the Lanosia area, possibly. Here, let me double check. I want to see exactly where they landed. I think that might be actually in eastern Lanosia. Yes. They landed in eastern Lanosia, so they actually just arrived where we just left. Oh dear, that's concerning. Alright. Ah, you must be the envoy from Lominsan. Welcome to Gridania, madam. The Elder Seedseer awaits your arrival. Alright, let's get going. We need to go meet with the leader of Gridania, known as the Elder Seedseer. And you'll be leading the way? Greetings, good madam. You are the Lominsan Envoy, are you not? I have received instructions to assist you. Pray make your way into the city proper and identify yourself to the conjurer at Nafika's altar. She'll admit you to the Lotus Stand where the Elder Seedseer awaits. Alright. Gotta make our way to Nafika's altar. Make our way out into the city proper, and I believe we want to head up this way. As we head to each of the major city-states, we'll be attuning with the main Aetheryte and any Ethernet shards we happen across on the way. I'm not going to make an effort to resonate with all of the Ethernet shards in our first trips through. We'll be doing that as we get to explore these cities a bit more, but right now we do have a job we need to do. Alright, so we are attuned with the Aetheryte here. Actually, before we run off, another really good idea. We should probably set this as a favored destination. That'll give it half off, so we can get here much more cheaply. So we can get around Eorzea much more cheaply. Granted, we can always also take the airships, but... airships won't always be easily accessible. And it might actually end up in some circumstances being cheaper to just teleport here directly. Alright then, Nafika's altar is just down here. As we come into the area, we can actually see, if you remember, there was a marking of one of the 12 gods of Eorzea that we encountered back in Lanosia. We've got another one right here, this one representing Nafika, which is why this is Nafika's altar. Alright, let's go ahead and resonate with the Ethernet shard here. I keep saying resonate, it's attuning. You can tell I have maybe a little bit of an addiction to Xenoblade 2. Alright, Silent Conjure, let's do this. You are the Lominsan Envoy. Begging your pardons, madam, but might I inspect the missive you bear? Oh, great. Verily, this is the seal of the Admiral of Lominsan. Please come with me.
So you are the Lominsan Envoy. And an adventurer besides. The realm owes much to you and yours. On behalf of our fair nation, I bid you welcome. Please. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Khan Senna, Elder Seedseer of Gridania, and leader of the Order of the Twin Adder, our nation's grand company. I understand you bear a message from the Admiral.
A remembrance service for the fallen of Cartano. To think that 5 years have already come and gone. It seems like only yesterday that the Garlean Empire attempted to seize all that we hold dear. Rising in resistance, the city-states of Eorzea formed the Grand Companies and joined hands in alliance. But unbeknownst to us, the Garleans sought not to best us in battle, but moved instead to enact a terrible plot, the Meteor Project, by which the lesser moon, Dalamud, would be torn down from the heavens to annihilate all life below. In a desperate bid to save the realm from certain destruction, our forces marched for the Cartano Flats, and there met the 7th Imperial Legion. More bloody a battle I have never seen, and would never wish to see again, yet the carnage was but a prelude to the atrocity which followed. For despite our best efforts, Dalamud continued its descent, and from it emerged the elder primal Bahamut, who proceeded to rain fire upon Eorzea. The 7th Imperial Legion was consumed in the blinking of an eye, while our own forces fared little better. That any among us were spared defies explanation. All seemed sure to perish. As the flames converged upon us, I prepared myself for death, only for a brilliant light to envelop me, relieving me of my senses. When at last I awoke, Bahamut was gone, and the land, which had moments before been aflamed, now seemed to me a place unknown. Not simply ruined, but changed. Archon Louiswan may well have been able to shed light upon these mysteries, but he, like so many, never returned from Cartano. And so we were left with countless questions and no prospect of an answer. Yet such matters did not long occupy our thoughts, for we had far graver concerns. The calamity, as the devastation wrought by Bahamut has come to be known, laid our nation's nigh to waste, and to this day we struggle to rebuild our lives and homes. To compound matters, the beast tribes continue to summon their primals while the Empire encroaches upon our borders, consolidating its foothold in Eorzea. The outlook, in short, is bleak. In the wake of the calamity, it has been all each nation could do to nurse its own wounds. Yet, if we are to weather the coming storm, we must needs stand united once more. A remembrance service may well present an opportunity to rekindle the spirit of unity which first gave rise to the Alliance. I wholeheartedly approve of the Admiral's proposal. The necessary provisions shall be made for a service here in Gridania. You have done the people of Eorzea a fine service this day, and I would not put you to further trouble. I shall see that my reply reaches the Admiral anon. You, meanwhile, are bound next for Ul'dah, are you not? Please send the Flame General my regards. And if you would be so kind, I should appreciate it if you would inform him that a pet of mine has been ill-behaved of late. My wolf, to be precise. Needless to say, he must be brought to heel, and I would very much welcome the General's counsel on how this might be achieved. I thank you for coming. May the 12 see you safe to Ul'dah and beyond. So an interesting note, whenever there is mention of a particular legion of Garlemald, for example, in that discussion, the 7th Legion, it is oftentimes a reference to a specific Final Fantasy. The 7th Legion is a reference to Final Fantasy VII. As you may have noticed, they were working with this meteor project to bring a moon down upon the planet. If you've played Final Fantasy VII, you immediately understand the implications of this. So yeah, whenever there's a reference to a particular Legion of Garlemald, it's usually to say, hey, this is the Final Fantasy we brought this idea from. Final Fantasy XIV is great on its own, but it is also full of references to the rest of the series. It's many people have called it kind of like a museum of all the Final Fantasy games, and I can see what they mean, though for the most part I've only played 15 and 14. I need to go back and play the previous ones. I've also played 7 Remake, but that's only partially done. Anyways, greetings, madam. This is the counter for passengers traveling to Ul'dah. Oh, you are not Sator Lansi, the Lominsan Envoy. On behalf of all of the High Wind Skyways, may I say what an honor it is to serve you. Will you be flying with us today? Damn, even here in Gridania we are becoming well known. At least among people who are, I guess, would be well acquainted with travelers. Oh, we gotta go this way. Alright, back onto the airship. Let's make for Ul'dah. Well, Garlemald's not making any more moves. I suppose they're busy with what they were already doing. Ah, you must be the envoy from Limsa Lominsa. Welcome to Ul'dah, madam. The Flame General awaits your arrival. Welcome to Ul'dah, madam. We have been expecting you. Flame General Ralbon will receive you in the Fragrant Chamber. Please take the lift down to Hussing Strip and speak with Bartholomew at the Royal Promenade. Alright, before we go speak to Ralbon, we also need to find the Aetheryte here, and Ul'dah, I'm not gonna lie, is a little bit of a maze. We're gonna take the elevator down to Ruby Road Exchange, and we're going to head out into the plaza from here. This area is very much a winding maze of shop stalls and hallways, and oh god, navigating it is rough. Honestly, I have mentioned before that all of the city-states of Eorzea, every single one of them, has its own horrific problems that we'll be getting into in due time. I think Ul'dah is the city-state I despise the most. I fucking hate this city. Not just because it's hard to navigate, but the politics here are disgusting. But we'll be getting into that in due time. Alright, we've attuned with the Aetheryte. I almost forgot I need to set it as a favored destination as well, so we can, again, cheaply get to each of the major city-states. And we will replace Swift Perch. Alright, now then, let's head back to the elevator and take the elevator to Hussing Strips as we were originally told to do. Alright then. Onwards to Bartholomew. Bartholomew! Oh my god. We've got an Ethernet shard here we can attune with. And then our destination is on the far side of this giant circular path. Alright, and Bartholomew, I bring you a message. The Lominsan Envoy, I presume. Would you be so good as to allow me to inspect the missive you bear, madam? My thanks. Indeed. Ah yes, the Admiral's seal. Please proceed.
Ah, a guest from Limsa. I thought I smelled stale ale.
I don't drink, though I have been around a lot of drunkards, so I suppose that makes sense.
I won't hold it against you.
If you're half the warrior Merlvib says, 'tis a wonder you don't reek of dead Sahagin. Welcome to the Sultanate of Ul'dah. I am Rauban al-Din, General of the Immortal Flames. But you did not come all this way to trade formalities.
Cartano. I remember bloody Cartano. Do you know what happened that day, adventure, when we took the field against the Garleans? So my counterparts have educated you. Kane's pet is giving her trouble, is it? Well, she should already know my mind on that subject. Wolves are beyond taming, 'tis but a matter of time before they bare their teeth. So it was with the Garleans 50 years ago. No sooner had they learned how to use Magitech than they began seizing territory from their neighbors. Led by then Legatus Solus Zosgalvis, they swiftly brought the other nations of Ilsabard to heel, and so the Legatus became an emperor in his Republican Empire. An empire which then set its sights upon Eorzea. But the conquering emperor is now an old man of 80 winters. His health is failing and he has no clear successor. Like as not, this is why the Garleans have been quiet of late. But the 14th Imperial Legion is still entrenched within our borders, and their commander, Legatus Gaius von Baelsar, has long harbored ambitions of conquest. Were he to strike now, I fear we would fall like so many others before us, and not only Ul'dah, but Gridania and Lominsan as well. For the Calamity brought the lot of us to our knees, and we've yet to get up. We barely have the strength to stand against the beast tribes, never mind the primals they mean to summon. We are a realm divided, adventure, an alliance in name only. But the wolf cares not for the plight of its prey. The Garlean stir and the Elder Seedseer would not let it go unnoticed. All other concerns pale in comparison to the Empire, even the beast tribes and their bloody primals. We must stand united once more, that much is clear, and if we're to do so, we must remember the cause which last brought us together. Merlvib will have her memorial. We will honor the memory of the fallen. We will remind the people what their brothers and sisters fought and died for. Shall I inform the Sultana and the Syndicate? I will speak with Her Grace myself. Very good, sir. The Admiral will have my reply anon. My thanks to you, adventurer. And with that, we get ourselves another minion. I believe this is number 4. We may now make use of the airship routes connecting the 3 nations. Before you may board an airship, you must pay the requisite fare and gil. And we are now free. We have finished the first chapter of the game and are ready for A Realm Reborn Chapter 2. So, let's go ahead and get that minion attuned with or activated and ready to go. And next time on Final Fantasy XIV. With our initial job done, we are no longer in service to Admiral Merlvib. She's getting her replies. We've done everything asked of us and more, and we are now free to explore the rest of the world. Before we begin exploring the rest of the world, I do want to make my way back to Lominsan real quick, because we are going to be taking on our first Leave quests and learning about those. Learning how Leave quests work, doing them, honestly, for the first time seriously in my case. I haven't really done them before. And just seeing what that's all about. So I will see everyone next time as we take on our first set of Leave quests. See everyone then. Also, before we go, passage to Lominsan, 120 gil. It's not too expensive. I think it's cheaper to take the airship than to teleport. But actually, We'll check once we land. Let's go ahead and land, and then we will check how expensive it is to teleport. It's the same price to go from Limsa to Ul'dah as it is to go from Ul'dah to Limsa. Alright, teleport fee is 228, so it's with favored destination set up, it is still 100 gil cheaper to take the airship. Anyways, yes, I will see everyone next time for our first leave quest.